Hello everybody, it's Julia here from the Highly Sensitive Tarot, and I'm back today with another in the series of top tarot trumps, and today we're looking at the Empress. And I found this one so difficult. There are so many beautiful Empress cards showing all different aspects of the Empress, from pregnant bellies to mums to warriors, rulers, warriors. There's just so many. So I've gone through a lot of my decks and picked out some that caught my eye. Whether they're my favourites or not, I don't know. But they're ones that caught my eye anyway as I was going through. I've got 6 Empresses here and 7 cards actually, because one of the decks, there's 2 cards actually that sort of run into each other that I wanted to show you. So when I think about the Empress, I think about Venus, motherhood, creator energy, whether it be creation of life, business, love, art, whatever really. She's sort of the womb where all of life grows, I guess. I tend to think of the Magician as being like the primal spark. The High Priestess is the one who gives an idea form, and the Empress is the womb. You know, generally a mother archetype in a good sense. You could also describe the Empress card as being like a pregnant pause, or a waiting, a waiting for something to grow. So the card could tell you that whatever you were wishing for, you have to allow it to take those first steps when it's ready. You have to allow it to grow. Patience is required, I think, with the Empress card. She can also represent just humans' ability to give and receive love, to extend yourself for the purpose of love and nurturing, trusting with a sort of a balanced heart, nurturing and supportive, all of those good things that we associate with that mother energy, that womanhood. So yeah, let's get into the cards anyway. So the first card that I've got here, let's move these over. The first card I've got here is from this deck, which you might recognize. This is the Klimt Tarot. It's this deck here by Lo Scarabeo, and I love this deck. I absolutely love Klimt artwork generally. I've got 3 or 4 bits around my home, not this particular image, but I've got like the Tree of Life and the Kiss, and I think there's one excuse me, called Motherhood, perhaps, I'm not sure. They're just beautiful. I love all the swirls. I love the metallics, the sort of mosaic-y effect of his artwork. I just love this kind of thing. And I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that this lady in this card, let me hold it up, this is Athena, or maybe Minerva, I'm not sure. Athena, I think. And she's the goddess of wisdom and I think art, but also war. And we can see that represented here in this Empress. She's dressed for battle. She's also got a very much of a feel of justice about her. And she's a ruler, you can see that here. She's a ruler, she's a warrior, she's just beautiful, opulent. I mean, all this gold and everything, it's just stunning, isn't it? So not so much of the pregnant bellies in this card at all, but I really appreciate the artwork of this, and I think this is a pretty good card for the Empress, or for one side, one aspect of the Empress anyway. So there's that one. I couldn't resist this one. This is from the Pensive Path Tarot, which is in this little deck here by Reese Marin. And I bought this well over a year ago. It's an indie deck, and so many of the cards in this deck are just a slightly different take or interpretation on what you would traditionally think of with a card. And I just love this because we can see here in this picture, this little girl's been dressed up in all her finest clothes. She's got all her ribbons up her leg. She's got this lovely dress on. She's on this huge throne. It looks like there's a crown here that's just too big for her head. There's all these scrolls here that are obviously, you know, for somebody grown up to be reading and looking at. And again, this has a feel of a ruler, but it's a little girl, and she's the empress to be, isn't she? You know, and I know in when you look back at old kings and queens and things, often if somebody died early, then their son or their daughter would become king or queen at a very young age before they even knew what it was to be a ruler, really. So she just looks reluctant here as well, I think. She's like, I don't want to be serious and see all these people. I just want to play. But yeah, I just really like that. I couldn't help but put this one in because I just think it's so different, and she's an empress to be, isn't she? Like I said. So that's gorgeous. So card number 3, I don't know if you know the back of this one, any of you? This is from the Tarot Landscapes. It's a beautiful deck. I've not read with it a great deal yet. It's this one here by Francesca Mattioni and Yoshi Mari. It's for Vida Publishing. Really, really nice deck. I plan to work with this very soon. It's got a real spring summery vibe to me, so I'd sort of, it's been on my shelf for the winter. But I just love this card. Look at this. You know, we don't need a person in here to see what this is all about. This is all about creation, isn't it? And nature. We've got this beautiful doe here, this female deer. The landscape is lush and fertile. It's just beautiful, isn't it? To me, it represents so many of those things about the Empress of, as I said, that fertility. Fertility for life, for nature, for Gaia, for all sorts of things. So yeah, I love that one. The next card is from the Herbcrafters Tarot, and this is the rose. And I wish I had some roses to put on my table today, but I'd been given some beautiful flowers recently, so I thought I'd put a few of them on the table, but no roses. I just love this. The rose is perfect, isn't it, for the Empress energy. I know that the rose, every aspect of it, everything from the rose hips, the petals, everything about the rose can be used sort of medicinally and in a healing way, in a very nurturing way. We give red roses at Valentine's Day and for love. I just think this fits really so very well. Let me have a quick little look in the guidebook and see if I've missed anything. You all know this deck, the Herbcrafters Tarot, I'm sure. Let's have a quick look. So many gorgeous cards in this deck. So it just says, be vulnerable yet strong, nurture love and compassion, see beauty and abundance in every stage of life. The seeds of the fat, juicy rose hips spill out next to pink heart-shaped petals. Buds and flowers lay on a honeycomb. Healing the heart heals the world. Learn to be vulnerable yet strong, like the delicate petals of the rose protected by thorns. Roses uplift the spirit and inspire love. They embody sensuality in bold, vibrant ways. Roses are prolific, creating food, medicine, and shelter for all who encounter them. As all parts of the rose contain medicine, every stage of your life finds passionate expression. Create, make, love, play. It is a fertile and generative time. So yeah, that's perfect, isn't it, for that Empress energy. Beautiful. So let's put that there. So the next card is from this deck, which some of you might be familiar with. This is the Hieronymus Bosch tarot, and I will have to read from the book for this. This is a deck that I bought, I think actually my son bought it for me a year or two ago for my birthday, perhaps, or Mother's Day, something like that. And I can't read with this deck at all as a tarot deck. It's got its own system. It doesn't follow any other system. It doesn't make a great deal of sense to me to read with. But I love it. I absolutely love it for the artwork. And the guidebook is a pretty cool guidebook, actually. So let's have a look and see what it says. So this is the Virgin Mother. She carries much of the same energy and meaning as the Empress, but the primary difference between the two women is their source of power. While the Empress is an Earth Mother deriving her energy from life-giving natural world, the Virgin Mother is a direct conduit for the divine source. She is a mother quietly looking down at the divine Christ child sitting naked in her lap. Her dress is beautiful and simple. On the floor, a golden blanket has been spread for her in celebration with her connection with the divine. In the background, the castle walls, which is a structure built by men, are beginning to crumble and fall and being replaced by the miracle of new life through the green vines. A compassionate, motherly woman filled with purity and positivity. The Virgin Mother is demure and unlikely to share her emotions freely, just like the High Priestess, but unlike the vocal Mistress of Terror, her inner life is guarded. The Virgin Mother quietly keeps her own counsel as she tends to the new life she has created. So that's beautiful, isn't it? That's yet another slightly different take on this mother energy, is that she's not necessarily of the earth like we see in these cards here, but more of a divine conduit for that divine energy and that divine spirit of caring and compassion. So that's really nice as well. This is the Bosch Tarot. There we go. It's by Travis McHenry. It's a rock pool deck. So the last card, or the last two cards I've got here, are both from the same deck. I don't know whether you recognise the deck, but I had to include them really both, because that's how the deck works. These are from the In Between Tarot, which is by Janine Worthington, Low Scarabeo deck. It comes in a big box like this. Again, I haven't worked too much with this deck because it's different, isn't it? You get, as the cards, you're looking at kind of, sorry, I'm struggling to get my words out, aren't I? We're looking at the liminal spaces. We're looking at the spaces in between, the different archetypes, the different energetic states, and how they flow into and merge into each other. And I just love these two cards. We see the High Priestess here, from darkness into light, which is really, I think, without even looking at the book, this must kind of represent in some way that journey I think that's what we're seeing here, that journey of the baby down the birth canal, out of darkness into light. And then we see the Empress energy, once that baby has been born, going into this this marriage, if you like, between the Empress and the Emperor, this connection, these children that mirror their parents. You know, we've got the swans of the Empress, we've got the ram of the Emperor. It's a kind of a hand fasting ceremony, I think, isn't it? But let's just see what the book says, because I am no expert on this, that's for sure. So for the High Priestess into the Empress, this one here, we find a baby surrounded by butterflies who sleeps serenely, partially wrapped in the umbilical cord that brought her to life. The movement from the High Priestess is here represented by the 9-month growth period in the womb and the movement down the birth canal, with the eventual emergence into the world of the Empress. The temple is still visible in this card, where the High Priestess first introduced the cup, the element of spiritual growth. The temple is now empty, and the baby is the product of the transition, moving into the light and sunshine of the open meadow. You can see the difference between the two worlds in this card, as the High Priestess is represented by that ethereal twilight of the moon and the subconscious, and the Empress has an association with Venus, the planet of love and awareness. So therefore the movement between the two planets will feel like an emergence from darkness into light. The butterflies are important here as they represent that transition. They are symbolic of change. When this card is pulled, it represents an important phase of growth. Perhaps the person has been engaged in a lengthy period of spiritual growth and is ready to rejoin the physical and material world. It could easily represent the late stages of pregnancy, where the feeling that you are going through a very special process is very intense. And then on the next card, this one here, as we move from the Empress to the Emperor, we have the Empress and the Emperor stand on the balcony of their castle. They are looking out over a crowd of royal subjects. They are about to make a speech together. While standing beneath them plays their royal children. The Empress is handing the symbol of Venus across to the Emperor, which signifies a sharing of power. The Venus symbol signifies the female qualities of beauty and love. Because the Queen holds this in the card, it shows that she embodies these qualities as a ruler. She is, however, a very different ruler to that of her husband, the Emperor. His corresponding astrological symbol of Aries, the fiery ruler, who is headstrong, brave and fearless. The children who play in the foreground are the living images of their parents. This in-between stage shows the opposing qualities of femininity, Empress, and masculinity, Emperor, working together. When both of their qualities are combined, it makes for a formidable force. In any partnership, it is enviable to have characteristics in one person that are lacking in the other person. Yet often we will even seek this out in a partnership, as it ensures a balance and compensates for the qualities that we may lack in ourselves. An imbalance in any situation of female or masculine energy can often make for complications. It is essential that we strive to achieve the fine balance in our lives, whether we accomplish this by joining with another, or whether we are able to find these qualities within ourselves. So I really like that. I just love that progression and that story that we see there of the sort of the opposing polarities of masculine and feminine, which we obviously need both of, don't we, in life? So there we go. I hope that you enjoyed seeing all my choices for the Empress. So many cards I could have chosen. I did think about just pulling out all the empresses from all my cat decks, but I thought I would try and show something a little bit more interesting. So I do hope you enjoyed that. And please do say hello, and I will see you all again soon. Thank you.